Yeah. Another week, another Make Your Move Monday. We are here. Let's jump right into it. Let me just get some things shared out over here on Facebook. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check. Facebook, we all live. Let's go. Let me just get some things shared out over here on Facebook. Mic check, mic. All right, Facebook, we're good. Another week, another Make. Let's go on YouTube. For those of you who don't know, Monday through Friday, we at this thing live Monday through Friday. Actually, no, Monday, Friday, Sunday through Friday, we're live. We also do something on Saturdays called Film Session Saturday. Make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. Let's do it. Channel as well. All right, so we're here. You already see what we're talking about. How many things can you offer? Our Make Your Move Monday kick-off question. Our Make Your Move Monday kick-off question for the week. Hold on, let me get it. Where is it at? Not banners, but where is it? Oh Lord, did I forget how to do that? No media. There it is. All right, cool. They changed the format a little bit over here on StreamYard. I'm just gotta takes a little bit of getting used to. All that being said, first and foremost, let me introduce myself to anybody that may be new to me, new to the channel, new to what I'm all about. My name, Aswan Crookshank. I am your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player, and current 5-time, soon to be 6-time published author and educator. I created this whole system, this whole brand, this whole mindset, this whole way of life. It's all about taking the innovative teamwork lessons that you learn on the football field and aligning them with businesses and business owners so they have a staff and a group of employees that moves as efficiently and as coherently and has that passion, has that desire, has that hunger, the same type of hunger you see in a championship high school or youth football team. That is what we do around here day in and day out, 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year. There's something going on in my head that's creating more cohesiveness. That's all about creating more of a cohesiveness in that system and adding to that system. So you as a business owner, you do not have to have the problem of retention rates. Or if you are going to replace somebody, you know how to utilize AI, you know how to outsource this, you know how to do certain things to where you can really utilize innovative teamwork, all the tools and all the technologies, all the things that we have made available to us. Your one and only has it covered. All right, your one and only has it covered to where you will not have the problem of bringing in the wrong people when you've adopted the system and you really buy into what I'm all about. So before we get into today, so for those of you who are new to this channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this out. This is what, like I said, this is what we do on the regular. For those of you who are listening to this on the Move Swiftly podcast, again, let me just get through a couple of announcements. Let me get through a couple of announcements first, and we will get this party started. Actually, yes. So before I get to the announcements, let me just give you a little briefing. I'm going to give you a little briefing of what we're going to be talking about today. If you're new to, whether you're new to the YouTube channel or you're new to the podcast or you're just new to me in general, every single Monday, this is how we work around here. Let me just run you through the entire system since I'm on it. Every single Monday, we have something called a Make Your Move Monday kick-off question. As you guys, as I've explained, we get a lot of what we do here around the football world, and before we start every football game, we have something called a kickoff, right? To get yourself aligned, to get yourself right, to get yourself kind of in the right track, to make it the best week that you've ever had. We do the same thing around here. The Make Your Move Monday kickoff question is a thought-provoking question that's going to get you centered, that's going to get you thinking on the right path of thinking the right way, something thought-provoking. I will address the question in my own life and how I'm doing it. I will tell you how I came up with the question. Also, I will kind of walk you through, I'll walk you through my answer to the question as a way of being a model for you and figuring out how to utilize this thing. This is what we do. Again, we center you, we put you in the right space. All right. A lot of times, a lot of businesses fail because mentally they're all over the place. We need to make sure that the first thing we got to do over here in the Move Swiftly world of sports marketing is get you right where you need to be starting off that Monday so you go out and kick ass this week. All right. So Before we get into all of that, again, I'll be addressing the entire question and we'll get into all that. Let me just get through a few announcements real quick. It's first and foremost, as I mentioned, business owners. If you have not yet, I need you to go to freeguide.makeyourmove.com. That is freeguide.makeyourmove.com. You heard me correctly. I created a 10-step process that you can utilize right now that'll reduce the turnover in your business. We work from a very, very simple formula here. All right. It's number one, establishing measurables. Number two, creating a professional distance. You take those two things and add them together, and that is going to lead to the productive environment that you need if you want to be successful. All right. It's very easy to understand, and it's something that's going to be very easy but very effective if utilized the right way. That's first announcement number one. So number two, just brand new. We're back. All right, we're back. We officially have, given, and again, I'm going to address this as we get on today's topic, but given the amount of things that I'm able to do and the amount of things that I've done, it becomes a challenge really nailing down on a specific thing that's going to, give birth to everything else. So I've officially, I had a conversation with my lady this week, and we had a great vacation in St. Augustine. We had a great conversation. So we're officially back. All right, I'm officially back, offering boxing lessons every single day. And I'm not, the difference now is it's only going to be a select few people. My time is not going to be, I'm only going to have a select time in which I'm going to be able to do it one-on-one boxing lessons. All right. It's from 6 p.m. all the way through 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. If any of those times work for you, here's what you do. You go to freeboxing.makeyourmove.com, put your information in, and I will send in. Let me know which time works for you to do the free session. If it's something you want to move forward with, again, I have all that information for you. I'll have all the links and all the stuff that your options for anybody that wants to move forward. If you want to just stay on the free one, we're just doing that every 2 weeks. However, if you want to actually get better and do them on multiple days and do one-on-one training with just boxing lessons and things like that, then we can discuss that as we go. So let me just give you a kind of a briefing of what we do. It's jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, jab, cross. You see, duck. This will be you in terms of how we do it. I'm going to start pulling people one by one to do these very things. All right. It's number two. And finally, if you are either one of these two, whether you're the business owner that's looking to develop your employees and create a retention and reduce your retention rates, or you're the person that's looking to develop a style of fitness and self-defense and get better as an athlete, get in shape, all that kind of stuff. If you're just ready to pull the trigger now and say, hey, look, I don't need no free anything. I know I'm ready to do what I got to do. Just simply go to makeyourmove.com. It's MakeYourmove.com. All that is available in the shop tab. As you see, I've condensed the shopping tab to where I'm only offering a certain amount of things now. If you are interested in having me come in and speak, all the research is available for you to look at right there on that one website. I'll read this out and then we'll get into today's topic. All right, so turn your business into a championship team. It is common knowledge that the best way to win in business or in life is by avoiding ways to lose. Whether you've just started a new business or you've been in business for quite some time, there's no getting around the need to hire or outsource certain elements of your organization so things can run as efficiently as possible. When you book your meeting with Aswan, he'll diagnose what the issues are with your current system and then strategically create a system in which will lead to a reduced amount of turnover or a clear understanding of the parts of your business that need to be outsourced. And just for the record, folks, this was not written by ChatGPT. This was all me, right? Because that's one of the things that I'm all about in regards to writing and all the things that I can offer. All right. Woo! That was a mouthful. I got to get used to doing that. That's the one thing, as I was vacationing and enjoying St. Augustine this past July 4th weekend. That's one of the things I challenged not only myself, but also my significant other to do a better job of, to make it so I understand, look, I'm not just living for one person now. I have to take multiple people into consideration when it comes to my business, when it comes to how I utilize my time, when it comes to all the things. And again, as much as, especially if you're talking about, especially me, especially a lot of entrepreneurs hate to admit it, but when you are in a relationship, and I'd like to preference this because it's so so much bigger than the romantic relationship. See, the romantic relationship is stuff that is like the icing on the cake, and everybody kind of is like, ooh, it's kind of a goo goo gaga eye thing. It's kind of a cute thing because it makes headlines. But the truth is, any relationship is going to require a win-win mindset. Stephen Covey, one of my favorite authors, one of my favorite books. I wouldn't say one of my favorite authors, but he developed the concept. I believe it is him. Let me make sure I'm not spreading any bad words. Stephen Covey, yes. Yep, win-win. Yep. Know what the hell. Yep. Habit of win-win thinking. All right. So Stephen Covey is all about win-win, win-win. All right. And whether you're talking a romantic relationship or you're talking a business relationship, you're talking about working with somebody, connecting and collaborating and trying things and making sure certain things are of a certain standard, it's going to require you to think win-win. It's going to require you to say, okay, this is what I want out of the situation. I want out of the deal, and this is what the other person's getting out of the deal. And then we develop a win-win strategy. That's what it's all about. It's about working towards win-win. If you develop that mindset, again, if you had the mindset before you meet your significant other, it's going to only benefit you when you do meet the significant other, because you'll be thinking already in the mentality of win-win, not in the mentality of I'm going to go and I'm going to sacrifice doing this, or I'm going to have to give up some of my goals and give up some of my dreams because this person said she or he don't want to be with me if I pursue this. No. You got to start developing the win-win mindset long before, years before that specific person starts to come into your life. All right. So as far as today's Make Your Move Monday kickoff question, all right, just give you a preview, a couple things that are going to tweak a little bit. I am going to be cutting myself off. All right, it's funny because I started doing these live streams and I would talk for a whole hour, and then I condensed it down to 45 minutes. Now I'm telling you right now, I'm going to put myself on a timer. I can see my timer right now. I'm cutting myself off wherever I am at 35 minutes, because this is free stuff y'all are getting, and the stuff that I'm producing, what I'm all about is about serving the high ticket audience, serving the audience of people, serving these business owners that want to invest in the things that I offer. So what I have learned, having done these for it's been about a little over 6 months of doing these live, probably longer, because I remember it was around the election time, like November time, around the election time, where I had a whole lot to say and I couldn't stay quiet about it. So I started doing these live shows. So we had the election, we had college football going on, we had so much stuff that I wanted only needed to talk about, right? And so I'd be talking for over an hour. And then, as football season died down, the election stuff died, I was like, all right, I'll go 45 minutes. But when it comes to the valuable information, the evergreen material that I produce on a daily basis, I'm learning that if you're going to be doing the free stuff needs to be condensed to 35 minutes so I can utilize my time for things that are actually directly generating revenue. Again, all of this happened with a great vacation, a great trip, with just having conversation with someone I'm planning a future with, and I'm bringing all this up for a reason. It's actually part of the curriculum today, and that part of what I'm going to be talking about today in terms of expanding your offers, expanding the kinds of things you can offer. I'm not saying do more things. All right. That's where you can get me wrong. I'm saying now the things that you're good at, the skills and the money making strategies that you're all about, how can you create more offers based on what your location is, what you're good, what you have, and what your superpowers are. And that's what we're going to be diagnosing today. We're going to be diagnosing that tomorrow. We're going to be diagnosing that on Wednesday. And then we're going to recap everything on Thursday. And then Friday, as usual, we'll go Faith-Based Friday, which, by the way, again, was a powerful, powerful sermon at Church by the Glades yesterday. We went to church, me and her, we went to church yesterday, and it was powerful. You had the Independence Day stuff. It was a very, very powerful message. So I'm looking forward to getting to that as well. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Share this out to specifically business owners and anybody that you think would benefit from learning how to box, learning that jab, cross, uppercut, learning just those ones and twos, whether it's an athlete, getting better, or whether it's a parent that wants to develop, get in shape, or a kid dealing with a bully, a woman that has, dealt with some domestic abuse situations. All that stuff we do. It's all encompassing here. Move Swiftly School of Sports Marketing. All right, so let's get into it. So it's enough intro. It's enough intro for the morning. Let's jump right into the article. First things first. Make Your Move Monday. How many things can you offer? All right. So we are here for my podcast listeners. I am reading directly from the article. If you're not following me on Medium, be sure you do that. Medium.com/moveswiftly44. There will be, once book number 6 comes out in a couple months, once it gets ready for a pre-order, there will be special offers and special deals for anybody that's following me on Medium. All right. So we are here. It is the very first Make Your Move Monday. Actually, it is the first. You're right. It is. I got that. So today's Move Swiftly thought I got that wrong. It is actually the first Make Your Move Monday Make Your Move Monday kickoff question of July. And in true form, we are starting the week just like a football game starts, with a kickoff. And you know what that kickoff does. It gives you a glimpse into how the rest of the game will unfold based on how well it's covered. The same goes for you. The same goes for your week, your business, and your life. So today's kickoff question is, how many things can you offer? Before I dive into my own answer, let me tell you how I landed on this question. A weekend that shifted my perspective. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was just hanging with my lady, who, by the way, told me from day one, she really isn't into sports. And she did say that, because I'll never forget. That used to be kind of a prerequisite. She's opened my mind in that regard, right? That was like a prerequisite. It's like I used to go out on dates and like ask the girl, look, if you ain't into sports, then we might as well go ahead and end this right now. But she kind of shifted my perspective on that because I didn't ask until I actually kind of got to know her and stuff like that. So anyway, but she's always been open to learn. And that was the question. That was actually the question. It's one thing, because I'm sports. I'm a person that's very passionate about it, speaks about it very knowledgeably. And you would think that to have a conversation with me, you have to know about sports. And it's really not that. And this would be true to anybody else that may think they can't be in business, they can't work with somebody else that isn't interested or doesn't know the things they know. That's fine. You have to ask yourself the question, is she willing to learn? All right. Or is the potential person that you want to work with, are they willing to learn? And that's what shifted my perspective a little bit, right? So from day one, she says, really not into sports, but she's always been open to learning, all right? She's always been open to learning about sports. Plus, she's got a dad who's a major sports fan. And I this is something I learned firsthand experience. I didn't know about this. I mean, a lot of, people, you meet people and they talk about their family, they talk about their dad, whatever it is, and you don't know until you actually meet it. So she's got a dad who's a major sports fan. So here's how I came up with the question. All right, guys, reading directly from the article now. All right, so we were talking. This was during about 3 or 4 Saturdays ago now. I think it was like 2-3 Saturdays ago. Can't remember the specific number. But while we were talking, she casually mentioned, yeah, by the way, my dad's throwing out the first pitch at the Marlins game tomorrow. This is me responding. I'm like, what? Wait, what? What? Wait, what? My jaw nearly dropped. Are you kidding me? He's throwing out the first pitch? That's a huge deal. That night, we ended up going to dinner with her parents that night. And guess what? Her dad invited me to the game. That Sunday was my first time ever attending a Marlins game at Lone Depot Park. Like I've said before, I've been there. Like I've been to Lone Depot Park but it was only for workshops with Positive Coaching Alliance. And man, I had the time of my life. So before I go any further, I'm going to play the video of him throwing out the first pitch, just in case you guys don't believe me. Yes, this actually happened through a casual conversation. And next thing I know, I'm spending my entire Sunday at Lone Depot Park at a Marlins game. And this is my first experience. I'll let it play. Go ahead.
Towards the pitcher's mound for our honorary first pitch of the game. Please welcome Richard Lamouth. Catching the honorary first pitch is the birthday boy himself, Billy the Marlin. All right, Richard, whenever you're ready.
Oh man, this was classic. And then you'll see me. It's coming up. So you see me? See me holding the was up. That was my first. Listen, guys, that was the first time ever being in a Marlins game, guys. And like, what an experience that was, right? And it goes off like, yo, she just happens to say it the Saturday before when we were hanging out. Yeah, he's throwing out the first pitch, and now I'm going crazy, going crazy. It's a big deal. All right, so let me dive deeper into the article now. Here we go. So, new venue, new perspective. All right. So, as I've mentioned throughout this entire stream to this entire episode today, I'm a football guy. Going back to I'm reading from the article directly, podcast listeners. All right. New venue, new perspective. So, I'm a football guy. I've worked with the Miami Dolphins Foundation. I've been involved in trying to get more events at Hard Rock Stadium. But this experience gave me a whole new appreciation for what the Marlins and their stadium offer to the Miami community. All right. Hear me on this. Me having the football mindset and thinking that that's what served the Miami community the best, I was actually opened up to something brand new. All right. And it made me think about the past. For those who don't know, Lone Depot Park replaced the iconic Orange Bowl, which was legendary in the college football world. Fans of the Miami Hurricanes and college football in general weren't thrilled about the loss. But here's the reality. A professional baseball stadium offers more to the community than a college football program does. Why? Baseball has multiple farm teams across the state. Miami's geography makes it a crucial a cultural and athletic bridge to South America. That one is big. That one's big. Hear me. All right. We got to make sure I want to make sure I'm harping on this point and making sure I'm emphasizing this point. First of all, baseball has multiple farm teams across the state. Myself, I'm currently residing out here in West Palm Beach. There are two farm systems. There are two stadiums that are built for farm teams out here. One, it's Dean Chevrolet, and the other one is right in Abacoa. The name of it, no, I think that one's Dean Chevrolet, and then the other one, they just changed the name of it. But long story short, there are two right here within maybe a 6 or 7 mile radius of each other. There's two baseball stadiums right here that the farm teams actually play. All right. Farm teams of these Major League Baseball teams play. Then Miami, we're talking about location. Miami's geography makes it a cultural athletic bridge to South America. So one of the things that, as me and Richard were walking around the stadium, he was pointing out, there's a tournament here where you're going to get Venezuela, you're going to get Dominican, you're going to get Cuba, you're going to get all these teams from South America that are going to come to Miami and have a huge tournament, and that's going to sell us. See, these are things that a college football stadium are not able to offer the Miami community. The only thing that's going to actually fill up the stadium are the Miami Hurricanes games. And when you break it down, that's how many times a year do the Miami Hurricanes play a home game? Let's just look it up. Since we're doing it, let's just do it. Let's just do it for real. Hurricanes football. Let's see. Let's go to the schedule. Let's go to the schedule and look at how many home games. And now they're playing at Hard Rock Stadium. But let's look at all the home games. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. First 4 at home. Okay. 5, 6, 7. 7. That's 7 times out of 365 days that they're going to possibly, and it's not even a guarantee, depends on how well the team is, that they're going to possibly fill up that stadium. So the other 360 some odd days or 350 some odd days of the year, what's going to happen? It's just sitting there, and then taxpayer money is going to that. So the question has to become, if you're going to build something as massive as a stadium, how can we utilize it more than 8 days out of the year? And this is true in any city that has a major stadium. These are taxpayers' dollars that are going to the stadium, and you have to ask yourself, how can we utilize it? How does it serve the community? Now, again, as I was getting this knowledge, I mean, this Richard is giving me the game, baby. He's giving me the game because he's done things with, whether it's the Heat or whether it's the Dolphins, he's looked in certain situations, and it's all about serving your fans. So when you get a situation, let's go back here now. When you get a situation where they're honoring him, his loyalty, they're showing him the loyalty by, giving him the honorary first pitch, even though that day it may not be a lot of people in the stands to see him. That is totally fine. You're okay with that because, hey, I'm showing the fans the appreciation. I'm showing someone who worked his butt off to, get to South Florida and raise his family and is working hard and is supporting the organization. I'm showing them that we care. These are things that you can do for the people of the community. All right. That's what you have to take away from it. Those were the things you see me there. Those are the things that I was learning as we were going. That Sunday, and you can ask him, I was in like La La Land. I had to cancel. So normally on Sunday, I do Stay Hired Sunday. I had to actually cancel that Sunday because I was in like note-taking mode and I'm making moves. I'm thinking, I'm strategizing. I'm like, I cannot wait to jump on this and talk about this and explain this and break this down. And that's the way it's supposed to be. When you meet new people, your life is supposed to be enhanced. And what the things that you were doing before are just supposed to be enhanced in a way that you couldn't get there, right? They're supposed to be upgraded. And that all comes with mentality, folks. It comes with mentality. It comes with mindset. It comes with a level of preparation that you have to understand. Whenever you run into somebody new, and this is what I was talking about earlier when it comes to Stephen Covey, whenever you run into anybody new, are they adding to it? Are they making you better? Are they continuously adding anchors to your feet and not allowing you to flourish to the things to the places that you want to get to? All right. This is why we preach teamwork so hard. It's the core of everything we do. We preach teamwork so much right here on this very platform because it works, man. It works. It works when you dial in and having great teammates and working with the right people. All of that stuff starts within. All of that starts within and how you approach your days and how you actually go about putting your work out there, how you think, how you work, all of that stuff. That is the core of it. All right. That's the core of it. So let's get back into the article now. The Marlins brand. All right, let me go back here. So because I went on a mini tangent. If your first time around here, this happens. All right. So for those who don't know, loanDepot Park replaced the iconic Orange Bowl, which was legendary in the college football world. Fans of the Miami Hurricanes and college football in general weren't thrilled about the loss. But here's the reality. The professional baseball stadium offers more to the community than a college football program does. Why? Baseball has multiple farm teams across the state. Miami's geography makes it a cultural and athletic bridge to South America. Major one there. And finally, the Marlins brand has global reach. And a stadium like this can host concerts, community events, international games, you name it, which brings us back to the question. So how many things can you offer? Every Monday, I answer the question I pose. For me, I can offer. All right, so we're getting into me now. This is I brought all of this up. I gave you 30 minutes of backstory, 30 minutes of understanding why this question is so important. Now I'm going to answer it for myself as a way of showing you how this works. All right, how this works. All right. And if you want to pursue it, if you want to actually pursue the success and you want to actually get to places that you never thought you could, you really have to ask yourself, what can I offer based on maybe two or three things that you do really exceptionally well. All right. So here it is. For me, I can offer leadership workshops, books. I've written 5, consulting for sports programs and youth organizations, public speaking, emceeing and hosting, play-by-play commentary, boxing and fitness boot camps, athletic development coaching. And I'm always refining how I show up with those offers. The game reminded me that even if something is popular, it's not always what serves people the best. The Orange Bowl was beloved, but loanDepot park offers more. Same goes for us. All right. Lean into what lets you do more, give more, and serve more, which we'll be unpacking We'll be unpacking this all week, especially on Wintrepreneur Wednesday, when I go deeper into what I learned about the Marlins, the Orange Bowl, and the business models that stand the test of time. Let's get it. All right. So as I close you guys out, I'm going to close you guys out very soon here. I want to make sure I'm reading all the things I can offer again, so I can really give you a clear picture, a clear understanding that it's not about doing more versus limiting your focus on the things that your money-making skills are meant for, that you're really, really good at, and allowing yourself to grow from that place. All right. That's what it's all about. You've got to hear me clearly, because too often when you hear a lot of these successful gurus, and a lot of people giving advice will tell you, yeah, the successful folks have 7 to 8 different revenue streams, which is clear. They do. All right. But all the time they have these revenue streams because they've done one thing really, really well, but they've been able to make offers based on the one or two things that they do really, really well. And that's where we're trying to get you. That's the goal here. So what can I offer? For me, leadership workshops that comes in the form of employee development workshops where you can get on makingmove.com. I just told you about that. Books, again, you can align that with the workshops because you can leverage the books to do more workshops so people can afford the workshops. Consulting for sports programs and youth organizations. Again, that falls under the workshop, delivering workshops mold, because the consulting is pretty much them paying for a workshop. Public speaking, now you lean into the keynotes and being able to host certain events, emceeing and hosting. Again, certain events that a lot of this events planned out till 2027. Again, being able to just simply develop as a public speaker and MC and host these things goes into play-by-play commentary. So you see the mix. Public speaking is the one thing I do well, right? But that's going to go into play-by-play commentating and, hosting and emceeing it. Those are the one thing I do well. Now we're going to go into my background as a boxing coach and a fitness instructor, like a boot camp coach and all that. Now, athletic development coach and boxing and fitness camps. So those are just literally 3 things, guys. So the 3 things. It's the intellectual property, public speaking, and my background as a fitness consultant. That's it. And everything else, all the other offers come based on those only 3 things. It's not me doing 30 things. It's 3 things really well, and the offers come based on that. Same way with Lone Depot Park. It's one stadium. It's really for the Marlins. However, because of the sport, right? Because of the location, and because of the sport and the location, they're able to offer things that every single organization cannot offer. Like I'll give you an example. I'll close you out with this example. The perfect example to give as we close out here is I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland. That's right on the outskirts of DC. It's like the suburb of Washington, DC. And I was in high school when they just started the Washington Nationals sports franchise, the baseball franchise named the Washington Nationals. All right. And I was around the time they built a stadium for them, and they strategically built that stadium right next to the train station. They built it right next to the train station. So you got right off the train. As soon as you get off the train, you walk right into Nationals Park and you're good. You don't got to take your car. You don't got to worry about parking. You don't got to worry. The people got on the train and they enjoyed their baseball game. And the thing about it is it made it super convenient for people to go attend a game on a regular basis. If it's just a regular Tuesday night or Sunday or whatever it is, they can just go attend the game and get right off the train, not have to deal with all the parking and all the headaches that come with parking and normally going to these Major League Baseball games. That's what you have to do. All right. So all that being said, again, reached my time limit. I'm working on it. We will tomorrow. We're going to get into the top 5 ways to make your offers complimentary, because that's the next step to the discussion. It's making sure every offer you make is complimentary to the next. So be on the lookout for that. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share this out to anybody that you know needs to hear it. If you're interested in hearing more about what I'm about and diving deeper into my work, the main website to check out is makeyourmoneymatter.com. MakeYaMove.com. That is MakeYaMove.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.